Hi guys, I'm Simi B and welcome to day 5 of 100 days of making a comic. Let us be honest to ourselves and let us think about ways how we can make more time to work on our comics. In the crisis that we're in right now, there are a lot of people who are at home right now and don't really know what to do with the time and don't really get anything done. Here are a few things that you can think about how to work productive on your project. The first thing that's on my list why you're wasting your time not working on your comic is that you have some kind of fear. I won't go into details of what kind of fears you could have, but I made a video yesterday, so you could check that out in the description down below or on my channel. Another reason, and it's not only for making comics, but generally if you want to do something, you need to be able to answer the why question. With that I mean you just have to have a reason why you actually want to do a comic. Especially for an artist, it's sometimes really hard to keep up on your work or just being motivated. But the people who really stick to their plans and really work on their comics, they have a good reason why they're sitting many hours in the room and creating this comic. So just sit down and think about why do you want to make a comic? Is there a hidden meaning or purpose behind your story that you want to show the people to make them think about these problems? It doesn't really matter what kind of reason you have for working on your comic, but it has to be important enough and big enough for you to sit down and really work on it with passion. Another thing why you don't really find time working on your comic is because, yeah, I can relate to that, is not being disciplined. Especially now in this crisis where a lot of people are being sent home and don't really have anything to do and don't work, have a lot of free time. Especially for the people who got sent home from their work and don't really have anything to do, are kind of lost, not knowing what they should do with their time, and they don't have any rules. And it's nice for 1-2 days to just be free to just sleep in and do whatever you want. But after some time, I heard from a lot of people that they're kind of bored and are annoyed that they are staying at home the whole time. I really can't relate to the people who are bored at home because I have so many things that I want to do besides making my comic. But right now, my main project is working on my comic, and that can be also your main project right now. And for that, you have to make your own rules, times, and maybe even deadlines. With rules, I'm just saying that there may be things where you already know that you are not quite disciplined. For example, with me, is I really need to wake up really early in the morning, meaning about 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning, because if I wake up after 8 o'clock, my day is basically done. I know it's still in the morning, but for some reason my body's telling me, well, I know that my body is in this down loop when I had my lunch, and in that time, I can't really do productive things. I'm still capable of doing things, but not things where I need to think a lot or do a lot. More like no-brainer things. And what I mean with time is just think about when you are the most productive and just work around it if you can. But I think you are capable of doing that if you're staying at home. And the next thing that really helps me is having a deadline. Because I'm that type of person, if I don't have a deadline, I don't do things. That is why I'm participating in the contest from Webtoons, because then I have a legitimate goal that I can work on. So yeah, so these are the tips that I give to people that are at home and don't really know how to use their time. If you are doing home office or you're one of the most important workers right now in the economy, these tips may help you. As I said before, here as well, it's important to have a why or to just have a reason why you want to make a comic. Because especially if you're working and you come back from work, you're tired and you don't really want to work on something or force yourself working on something, even though making a comic may be fun. But if you have a big reason or why you want to make a comic, then you're more capable of making one as well. The next thing is that you just look at your schedule and look what you are doing daily. And there may be 1 or 2 things that you can swap and work on your comic. Like for example, you're watching Netflix for an hour or you're on your phone looking YouTube videos for 2 hours or more. Try maybe swapping it with making your comic because working 1 hour every day is already a lot and something you can be proud of. If there aren't any things that you can swap or you don't really want to swap because they're really important to you, then maybe consider waking up earlier. You don't really need to wake up an hour earlier, and I don't recommend you to wake up an hour earlier at the beginning because you'll hate it directly and you will drop this kind of project because sleep is important and you like sleeping like I do, I think. But just try waking up 50 minutes earlier and then 30 minutes earlier. And hey, if you can wake up an hour earlier, then do it. And with that time, you can decide if you want to start working on the things that you have to do. So at some point you have a half an hour of working on your project in the day, or you can start right in the morning when you wake up on your project that is already done for the day. So yeah, these are my tips on finding time and making you think about how you can use your time to work on your comic. I hope they kind of help you or made you think a little bit about some situations that you can improve on. The goal is not to work every day on your comic, but just finding some time working on your comic is already an improvement. I sometimes feel like I sound really naggy when I do these kind of videos, but I don't want to be naggy or seem as being a naggy person and complaining. I'm just hoping for the best for you guys, and yeah, but if there's someone who's very disciplined watching my video, maybe you can write down some of your tips and tricks to maybe help other people. Me, for example. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye!